As I said in the brief intro, the reason for me becoming vegan has to do with intellectual superiority. I know there's some people who might watch that 60-second short and then run and tell other people that this Jamaican guy thinks he's intellectually superior to everyone else. That's why I became vegan, which wouldn't be entirely untrue, but if you stick around till the end of the video, I'll share with you specifics so you can get it right. I've told this story before, but this time I'll add some extra details that I may not have ever shared in the past. When I was growing up in Jamaica, first of all, wasn't born into a vegetarian or vegan family. We grew up in Jamaica eating oxtail and fish and pork and jerk chicken and all sorts of stuff. And I never used to get sick. I can't recall ever being sick, having colds, that sort of thing. And that continued throughout my childhood and even through high school. And it sort of changed a bit, started to change a bit when I was in college. And looking back now, I realized that it had to do with the diet. I was on the meal plan at Columbia University, and I was eating, any and everything at the time. I still wasn't vegan or vegetarian, and I always felt like I had this lingering congestion in my body that started to become annoying. And at the same time in college, I also got prescribed antibiotics once, and I made the mistake of taking them. And, if I knew then what I know now, I would have done what I do now, which, if anyone ever gives me a prescription, I just thank them and, throw it away or tear it up or just save it, for my files. I don't take antibiotics or any sorts of chemicals or drugs. But I realized I was starting to get, a little mucousy, congested. Always felt like I had a cold that was about to break out. And then one day, I went to lunch with a friend of mine, a fellow named Ken, and he was in the Nation of Islam. At the time, his name was Kenneth 4X. And we were having lunch in Brooklyn, near downtown Brooklyn, at a Subway. And I ordered probably a ham sandwich at the time. And Ken, being in the Nation and being more aware and vigilant of his diet, asked me if I knew what was in the food that I was eating. And I told him no. Now, if you think about it, that is a very basic question. That's a question that anyone should have an answer to. Do you know what's in the food you're eating? And being an A student throughout my, and B student throughout my education, it bothered me tremendously that I didn't have an answer to that question. What's in the food that you're eating? Ken gave me a copy of a book called How to Eat to Live by Prophet Muhammad, by Elijah Muhammad. And I read it, and then I read other books, Diet for a New America by John Robbins. I read A Mucusless Diet later on as well, but it opened up my eyes to a lot of things that I hadn't known. I simply hadn't known, about the dairy industry, about the meat industry, about steroids, about antibiotics, about what it does to the body, about the collusion between the education system and the meat councils and dairy councils and all that sort of thing. So it opened up my eyes. And I found myself on a journey. Oh, one of the other books that I really liked was Why Do Vegetarians Eat Like That? And I'll probably be referencing that book on this channel. And I'll make a point to get in touch with David Gabb, I hope I pronounce his name correctly, who I corresponded with years ago, when I first read the book. Very good book. Why Do Vegetarians Eat Like That? Technically, it's out of print, but you should still be able to find copies on Amazon or eBay. So anyway, what bothered me the most was the fact that I simply didn't have an answer to that question. And after reading books like Diet for a New America, I realized that I was being hoodwinked. I was being bamboozled. I was being controlled and manipulated by a system that did not have my health as its best interest. So I felt like a fool. I felt, that I should be better than this. I should not be simply responding to advertising, responding to conventional wisdom, and affecting my health at the same time, or destroying my health at the same time. So it was that really prompted me to break free and to start taking more control of my diet and what I put in my body. So that's where the intellectual part came about. It was a challenge to my knowledge, the fact that I didn't have an answer to a simple question. And then the freedom part of it was that I wanted to be free and to be independent and to be my own authority and to control my bodily destiny and not be manipulated by somebody else. So that's the reason I became vegan. Now, the other things, cruelty to animals, that's one of the benefits that make me feel better about my decision, that I'm not harming any animals and there's no reason to, but the overall reason is just for freedom from control, and also my health. I sleep better, I have more creativity, I live on less sleep, my relationships are more enjoyable. And so for me, it's more of a health reason as a secondary or as a primary. But the impetus and the catalyst for me starting the journey was one of freedom and being more intellectually capable of answering a very simple question. So I hope that that helps a bit. That's why I became vegan. And please share your reasons or your reasons why you're not going to become vegan. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.